Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about mean, median, and mode, and I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, and then also how to do it on the calculator. For smaller data sets, it's actually probably easier to do it by hand, but when you get larger data sets, it's easier to let the calculator do the work for you. So the mean is the average that we're probably the most familiar with. That's when we add up all the values and then we divide by the number of values that we have. The median is going to be the center value. If you order it from smallest to largest, it's going to be that center value. Now, if you have an odd number, there is going to be a center value where you have an equal number of values on each side. If you have an even number of data values, then you want to take the two center values and find the mean. Okay, now for the mode, when you order it from smallest to largest, you'll be able to quickly see which one occurs the most frequently. That's going to be your mode. Now, there are special cases where you can have no mode and special cases where you can have more than one mode. And I've got some examples of that I can show you here. Okay, so starting with example 1. Okay, our data set is 13, 18, 13, 14, etc. We're going to put it in ascending order. That means from smallest to largest. When we do that, we get 13, 13, 13, 14, etc. Okay, when we do that, we can quickly see what the mode is. I can see that the value that occurs most frequently is 13. To find the mean, I take all of these values, add them up, and I'm going to divide by 9, and I'm going to get 15. To find the median, now that it's in ascending order from smallest to largest, I can look for my center value. Because this is an odd number of values, I have 4, then I have 1, and then I have 4 more. That's a total of 9 values. There will be a center value where I have the same number of values on each side. There's 4 on this side, 4 on this side. So my center value is 14. That's my median. Okay, so to do this on the calculator, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the stat button, which is right here. And then you have an option here that says edit. I'm going to hit enter on edit. And then you're going to enter all your data values in on L1. Now, since I already have some values in there, I'm going to go up and use my arrows to go up to L1, and I'm going to hit clear and enter. When I hit clear and enter, it will delete all of my values at once. And then I can start plugging in my values. So I'm going to plug in these values here. I'm going to hit 13 and then my enter button. Then 18, then my enter button. 13, enter, and I'm just going to go ahead and do all of that until I get all my values entered in. Okay, now if I scroll up on 13, you can see here that it says list 1. This is the 9th item in my list. So I know that I punched it in. I didn't miss any because I've got all 9 in there. My 9th item in the list is 13. Now, if I want to use the calculator to put this in order for me, I'm going to hit the stat button. Notice that I have all my values in L1, my list. Okay, I'm going to hit my stat button, and I'm going to hit option number 2, sort A for sort ascending. Sort D is for sort descending, which is from largest to smallest. Sort A is what we're going to do. That's from smallest to largest. So I'm going to hit option number 2. And then I wanted to tell it to sort my list 1. List 1 is where I put all my data. Now, to tell it to sort list 1, if you look down here on your calculator, right above the 1 button, it says L1. So I'm going to hit second 1. So I hit L1. Now it comes up here as L1. That's my list 1. And then I'm going to close my parentheses and hit enter. and it's going to say done. So now when I go back to my list, it will have everything in order from smallest to largest. So I can see that 13 is listed 4 times, 14 twice, 16 once, 18 once, 21 once. So that's how I put my data in order. Okay, now I can see that my mode is 13 because 13 occurs the most often. Now if I want to find my mean and my median on the calculator, I want to go back to my stat button. This time I'm going to arrow over to the CALC menu for calculate, and I want to choose option number 1 variable stack. So I'm going to hit enter. I want to do this on my list 1 since that's where all my data is. So I'm going to again hit second 1 so that my L1 comes up, and I'm going to hit enter, and then it's going to give me a whole bunch of information about that list. Now my mean for the list is this one right here that says X with the bar over that. That's X bar. That's my mean. That would be 15. So there's my mean. When we did it by hand, we got that as well when we added up all the values and divided by 9. The N tells me how many values are in my list. That's 9. We knew that. And if I scroll down a little bit, I come across the median. That's the MED. That's my median. That's 14. So that's my center value. So that's all the information we need right now. So we said our mean was 13 because that when we put it in order, that's the one that occurs the most. The mean, when we did it by hand, we added up all those values, divided by 9, and got 15. And then the median was the center value. Now the second example. Okay, this one's really quick. I'm not going to show you how to put this one in ascending order since I already showed you that. And I think this one's really quick to just do it by hand. If I put this in order, I just have to pull the 3 and the 5 over here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 when I put it in order. If you noticed, all of the values occur only one time. So this is a special case where we have no mode. Okay. If I want to take the mean, I can add it all up by hand and then divide by 6 because we have 6 values. When we do that, we get 3.7. It's actually 3.666 repeating, but I rounded to 3.7. Okay, the median, since this is an even number of data values, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In order to have the same values on each side, I have 2 center values that I need to find the mean of. So I take 3 plus 4, that's 7, divide by 2, and I get a mean of 3.5. So half the data is above 3.5, half the data is below 3.5. All right, now to do this on the calculator, another example to practice. To put my data in, I'm going to hit the stat button. I'm going to click number 1, edit. Since I have stuff in there, I'm going to arrow up to L1 and I'm going to hit clear, enter, and it's going to clear out my whole list. Then I'm going to put in all my values. 1, 2, 4, 7, 3, and 5. Now it's just as easy to put these in order by hand, so I'm not going to go through that again. But I want to practice doing the median and the mean. Okay, so I hit the stat button once I get all my values in there. I'm going to arrow over to calculate. And I'm going to do 1 variable stacks. And I'm going to hit second 1 for L1. I'm going to tell it to do it to L1, and then I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to give me all of my information about list 1. Right now, we're only interested in the mean and the median. The mean, remember, was your X bar, which was 3.6 repeating, and I rounded to 3.7. This tells me there's 6 values in my data set. And if I scroll down, I look for MED, which is my median, which is 3.5, that's what we got when we did it by hand. Since we had an even number of data values, I had to take the center 2. So I did 3 plus 4 divided by 2. Okay, last example. This one's already in order for us. And if I look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 data values. So when I find the median, I'm going to have to take the average of the center 2. This is already in order, so I can quickly identify what the mode is. If you notice, here's the special case where I have more than one mode. I have 10 3 times, and I have 11 3 times. So this is a case where I have 2 modes, 10 and 11. To find the mean, I just add all of those up and divide by 10 to get 10.5. And since this is an even number of data values, I have to take the mean of the center 2, and that way half of it is above and half of it is below when I find that median. Okay, so the center 2 is 10 and 11, so I take 10 plus 11 divided by 2, and I get 10.5. To do this on the calculator, again, just to practice. Whoops, I can't get that straight. Okay, I'm going to hit my stat button. I'm going to enter in everything into edit under my list. Since I already have information in there, I'm going to go up and hit clear enter. And I'm going to enter in all of my values. Okay, now that I have all my data values in there, I want to calculate my mean and my median using the calculator. So I'm going to hit stat. I'm going to go over to calculate. I'm going to do one variable stack, so I'm going to hit enter. And then I want to do that to L1, so I hit second 1, so my L1 comes up, and I hit enter. And all my information comes up for that data set. Here's my mean, that's my X bar, that's 10.5, which we got when we did it by hand here. And if I scroll down to find my median, here's the number N, that means I have 10 data values. If I scroll down to find my median, I get 10.5. And that's how you do it by hand and on the calculator. Hopefully this helps.